Welcome to this election season of 2024. More like erection season because everyone is screwed. From Trump getting shot to Joe Biden acting like he's got brain clots. We've got Joe Biden not running for re-election, which makes sense because he can't even walk. Kamala's a new frontrunner, which is a bummer for someone who was playing the best game of hide and seek. And I just found out the Trump shooter had blue eyes. You know, one blue one way and one blue the other way. Let's get into it.
Welcome to a special edition of the Shrouded Realities podcast. We're stepping away a little bit from our norm and stepping into the world of politics because right now the world of politics is shrouded in so many mysteries and
It's on fire.
it's just crazy.
Is nuts.
It's shrouded. Like it's so shrouded it doesn't even have a name.
It's
just,
so shrouded that we said, just scratch everything we had on the list. It's time. We got to do this.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. We had other subjects planned, and it's like, nah, we gotta talk about this.
This is it. Yeah.
This is it. This is too many conspiracies, too many unknowns, and we just gotta.
And we're living in it right now. This isn't in the past. This is now.
This
is now.
is current shrouded realities
This is
going
current
on
shrouded
in front of our
realities.
eyes,
So,
or
yeah.
the shooter's eyes, or whatever we're talking about.
Poor kidding.
Poor kid.
Can't find a pair of glasses that fits.
Right.
But yeah, in case you hadn't figured it out, we're talking about the political upheaval that's going on in the past, week, 2 weeks, 13 days,
yeah.
I think.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
13, 14 days. It's
My
just been
my
nuts.
brain rot my brain rot is telling me that it's a long time ago, but it really isn't.
It's really not. It's 13 days.
It's
I believe,
crazy
from
how
today.
quick things can just fade from people's memories.
Yeah.
Man, like, I thought that the Trump shooter, that whole thing, the assassination
It's gonna be
attempt,
on the news.
that
for
was going to
years.
live.
Yeah.
That was just there until the end.
It lasted
But
2 days.
It was like 2 days, and then they just flipped everything on its head with,
Yeah.
Biden's got COVID.
Yeah.
I mean, what?
then the world's thinking he's dead.
The only shot Biden's getting is a booster shot. But
That's right.
Then everybody thinks he's dead, thinks
Yeah.
he's AI, thinks he's a deep fake.
someone's got his arm up in his body and just.
That's been happening.
I've had people that are close to me come up and go, "Did you see how much taller Biden was when he got out of that truck?
Oh,
He was 2 foot taller."
jeez, okay.
I was like, "Daggum, 2 feet.
2 feet.
That's a big boy."
Then he gives the most eloquent speech he's ever given in his life.
Doesn't
Yeah.
drag his heels at all. He
No.
walks like a 20-year-old.
Yeah.
He did say cherry instead of carry. Did y'all hear that? That was pretty good.
Golly.
But, yeah, it's there's a bunch of craziness going on. So let's
Start from the top.
Yeah, we're gonna break it down. We're gonna try to keep from jumping all over the place. Of course, it's a lot going. You got the assassination. You got Biden hiding.
Yep.
We got Kamala jumping in there
Yeah. He just rising to the top
Just
like
rising to-
nothing.
like nobody's business.
Man, she had this twinkle in her eye.
Yeah.
That's all I can say.
Raised $250 million in like
That's
a
right.
day.
Yeah.
Funny.
Yeah, so it's let's start with the assassination attempt and the shroud that's going over that one.
Yeah.
How does a 20-year-old
20.
kid walk up to a full assembly
Yeah.
with a rifle? Everybody points, says, "Hey, he's got a gun,"
For a while.
and gets a shot off.
This kid.
Not just one. Multiple.
So I made myself listen to that Kimberly Cheadle
That poor
hearing.
woman. She's
Golly,
not.
I sat and listened
She's
to
not
it.
getting a job at.
I got about
Whataburger
2
after that.
hours into it, and it was awful.
Yeah.
I couldn't stand it.
Mm.
But they said for 52 minutes, people had been saying, "Hey, there's this kid over here.
Mhm.
There's something up with this guy. We don't know what's going on." This was before he got on the roof and everything. But for
Yeah.
52 minutes, they were saying, "Something's up with this dude.
Yeah.
We gotta," and nothing. They did nothing about it.
No.
Right. I mean, what else could he have done? Like, I'm gonna shoot the president.
Yeah.
Like, what else does he need to do to be weird and be like
Yeah.
questionable?
Well, I mean, he had an AR-15
Yep.
walking around with it. Had to have been.
Tried to get through security with rangefinder.
Yeah, and he did
And he
because they said that wasn't suspicious.
Yeah.
They're like, it's not weird.
Not
Which
to
is-
use it to read.
They did.
And
They did think it was suspicious. They ended up coming out and said, like they had pictures
the
of
fact.
him.
The problem with this whole thing is, well, it wasn't suspicious. Well, yeah, that is a little weird.
That's
It's the
shroud.
back and forth on
Yeah.
everything.
That's the shroud.
Yeah.
That's it. Like
Well,
we
we
can't
gave
get
him-
answers.
We gave him more Secret Service detail. Well, yeah, we did deny him more Secret Service detail. I mean,
Yeah.
all of these things have just been back and forth the whole time.
Hey, my favorite one was we couldn't get on that roof because it was too steep.
Yeah.
Said let's put snipers on a steeper roof.
That's right.
Yep.
They said that And then they came out and said, well, it was pretty hot outside, so we didn't put somebody
Yeah.
on that roof.
Yeah.
What?
That was the last one I heard.
It was a little
there
too
were-
hot.
There was a couple of guys on it, and then they pulled them
It
off.
was a little toasty.
Mm.
Yeah.
So they put them in a room with a window facing it.
Yeah. Well,
Still nothing happened.
but it was a sloped roof, man.
Yep.
So how could they see it?
It was gonna. Crisco was gonna start raining out of the sky and make it really
Yeah.
slippery.
I don't know. It's
Yeah.
horrible.
I heard.
Yeah.
I heard that there was someone supposed to be on the roof, but they didn't show up for their shift or something. That's what I heard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the whole thing. It's who knows?
Right. The whole communication outside is so closed
Yeah.
off.
You got to wait 60 days for the report to come out, and then you'll know. Then
Yeah.
you'll know for sure
And
what
I
happened.
heard today too that Secret Service didn't show up for the briefing.
Yeah.
With the
It's not
the
important.
collaborative briefing
Wow.
between the local, the state,
Mhm.
all the cops that helped out.
So the Secret Service, it's like I know they're an agent, another agency, but like who's because every ex-president has Secret Service detail,
Right.
But are the ex-presidents like able to control that, or is that coming straight from?
That's coming straight from the director, if I understand right. The
Yeah.
director sets who your detail is going to be, and your detail is going to be your detail, from what I understand.
and, and the director is set by the president.
Yeah, which she was recommended by like Joe Biden's brother's long lost cousin or something
Did
like
she
that.
work at Pepsi or something like
Yeah,
that?
she was the security detail for Pepsi.
Just giving all the Coke guys out.
Yeah. Here, protect the most important people in America.
Yeah, hey, she was out there. Nobody stole a Pepsi from that vending machine.
Hey, to
Not
be
one.
fair, in the '80s, Pepsi did have one of the largest navies.
Yeah, that is.
Pepsi
that's-
did?
Yep.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Mhm.
Yeah,
We wanted to back up on that one. That's
yeah, that'll be a whole other
that's a
episode.
lot.
Yeah, the USSR was addicted to soda, and Pepsi. Coke wasn't selling, but Pepsi was. So they just traded a
Wow.
bunch of decommissioned stuff to Pepsi, like traded.
yeah.
And yeah, they had
The
like,
USSR did.
yeah,
God,
they had
they
like
made
the
bad
seventh,
choices.
It was like the 7th largest navy in the world.
Pepsi's like the
Wow.
worst. I do not like Pepsi products that much.
You don't like Mountain Dew?
No,
God, everybody
Mm-mm.
likes Mountain Dew.
Mountain Dew just ends up and has
Yeah.
this weird aftertaste.
I feel
can't
like
do it.
the Trump shooter liked Mountain Dew. He looks like
He
he
probably
liked-
he
liked
looks like
Mountain
a
Dew.
he
He
looks.
pounded
He pounded a Mountain Dew.
Mountain
Dude,
Dew
that-
blast right before.
Oh no, he was code
Bah.
red.
Bah,
Code
blast.
Red.
This dude was code red all the way.
That would make sense.
Yeah, he got the Agent Orange one. That's the ones he was in.
Agent Orange. You get
Yeah.
that MK Ultra flavor.
Yeah, that's right.
Then so a little more suspicious too. Registered Republican.
Yep. But what does that mean?
Yeah, he's not even old enough to vote. Well, yeah, he's old enough to vote, but
He is.
not
Yeah.
old enough to drink.
Yeah. Yeah. You don't know your true political beliefs till you're hammered.
Yeah,
That's right. When you're hanging out with your buddies, going, you know what I think?
yeah,
They daggone Democrats.
Hey, Democrats.
Them Demographs.
yeah.
So I did see where they found his Facebook, not Facebook, it was Gab, his account. Somebody found it, and he had about 9 posts, and they were all not Republican. I can say that.
Okay.
What even is Gab? Is this like a third party?
It's a-
like
It's a
Social
freedom
network?
it's a freedom of speech, social media,
Gotcha.
basically. That's, I mean,
What a
whenever
weird-
Twitter was having all of their problems
Mhm.
with freedom of speech stuff and taking people down and shadow banning people and all that, Gab kind of emerged.
Yeah.
It was pre like Truth Social and things like that.
were those
But
like
he had an
recent
account on
comments?
that.
Were those like recent comments or like just
I don't know. They
Mm.
were recent enough.
yeah?
Because I mean, it hasn't been out that long,
Mhm.
4 or 5 years. But yeah.
So,
So
speaking of freedom of speech, we need to throw our disclaimer real quick.
Yeah.
3 idiots.
idiots.
yeah,
Total opinion piece going on right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're throwing what we were reported by the news, which
Yeah.
is
I don't think anybody can have anything
Can't
but an
trust that.
opinion at this
We're
point.
just
Yeah.
looking at the puddle of information and just digging through it.
Yeah.
We're not saying that we're like a bunch of crazy guys who believe that the CIA set it up. Maybe not.
maybe MK Ultra, MK
MK
Ultra,
MK
MK Ultra.
Ultra.
Okay,
Yeah, that's
So I mean, they're really just laying a breeding ground for people like us, though.
Yeah. But they're
with
just staying silent.
by just not saying things
or putting out
or
contradictory
confidently
information.
saying
Yeah.
anything. They're even like,
Yeah,
maybe we think that it was a little hot outside,
Yeah.
so we couldn't put them there. So
Yeah.
that's why.
When the BS alarms going off with everybody and the Secret Service just like, it's just happened.
Hey, and the bipartisan BS meter.
Yeah.
Democrats and Republicans both are
All
going,
of
this smells fishy.
Well,
Yeah.
it almost comes across as they're trying to do a little CYA, just trying to cover it
Yeah.
a little bit because it was just such a bad failure.
Yeah.
It's so
this
bad.
could
So
be-
they want this. No conspiracies. Let's do that.
Yeah.
That looks better.
Yeah, it can go two ways. It can be a complete MK Ultra CIA operative top situation.
Yeah, Bino was like bullseye, and he was like transformed into this super soldier.
Yeah, and then he goes in, does all the things, and gets a shot off.
Yeah.
Yep.
Few shots off.
8.
Yeah, or everybody's incompetent,
Everybody.
or a combination of both.
Or yes, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all
Or-
there is.
BlackRock.
Could be that too.
That's where the
They were
CIA.
separate.
That's where the
What if-
CIA.
I'm thinking
conspiracy
that
comes
the
in.
BlackRock was a separate entity.
I've
You
got-
think that's a?
service.
You
Can I-
think that's a?
They were an outside source. I don't know.
I've got a major conspiracy theory right here.
I like
Okay.
it.
You want me to
Do
throw it
it.
at you?
Get it.
Okay,
Okay.
so timeline, trying to figure out this kid and what the situation
Yep.
is. If you hadn't listened, well, we hadn't released it yet. We're probably going to release it with this episode.
Yeah, maybe.
We did a mind control episode about MK Ultra and all the CIA stuff. So go listen to that. But if you hadn't already, okay. So the kid, BlackRock, he's in school.
Mhm.
He's doing his thing in school. A little weird. Everybody knows it. They come in to do this commercial.
Mm.
All right. They see this kid that's like, oh, a little fishy. All right.
Looks
CIA.
like-
I see what you did there.
It's a
Little
fishy
fishy.
with the eyes.
Because his eyes are on his. Because his
Top
eyes
of
are on his tipples.
So they say this kid's a little fishy. They think he's a good candidate for a little bit of mind control, little brain games.
Right.
They recruit him into their little world. And he didn't know it. He's just hanging out with people and
He's found somebody that accepts him.
that accepts him.
It's about like, hey kid, you like guns?
Yep. Do a little hypnosis on him, gets him a little MK Ultra'd up, and gets a little stuff implanted in his head.
Here's a code red.
There's
Here's
your
a
code red. Get your red dye 40 in you.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Jack your brain up,
Mm-hmm.
and they start training him.
Mm-hmm.
And then he becomes a CIA operative and not even know it,
So y'all know he was on the rifle team when he was in high school.
which is part of the.
But he wasn't good, right? He wasn't a very
He was
exemplary
always about.
shot.
He was always about a centimeter off.
Yeah.
Oh, too soon. Too soon. God. Thank goodness he was, but anyway. So, I don't know how to follow that. Anyway,
Yeah.
back to my conspiracy. CIA breaks his brain,
Yep.
puts him in the situation, because I don't know how a 20-year-old's going to go be that ambitious, especially that kind of kid, to be that ambitious, to be able to come up with that plan on his own,
Right.
follow it through successfully, and do what he did. So the BlackRock thing was just like the coincidence that got him into CIA. Again, all my conspiracy theory. Don't know if it's real, but
We'll never know.
we'll never know.
We'll never know.
100% not know.
We'll get the story that they want to tell us, and then when we're all dead and gone, then they'll release the Freedom of Information Act,
And
and
still
then
be
it'll
redacted.
be like, and yeah, half of that'll be
Yeah.
redacted, but it'll be
Oh,
just enough.
Maybe my grandkids will listen to this.
Yeah, they'll listen to it. and
50
be-
years from now,
Yeah.
and go, my grandpa Joey was right.
That's right.
He called it on the Shrouded Realities podcast in 2024.
That's
And
right.
then, well, the government would be so large by then they'll just kick the doors in and just haul them off the
Yeah.
jail, the prison.
Hey, I will know what they're thinking
Yeah, I was
before
gonna say,
they even
AI
do
is
it.
controlling
Yeah.
them already. That's not
Yeah.
happening.
But so, I mean, how did this kid? He had an AR-15,
Yep.
had to go get on a roof.
Climb.
Which let me back up. Hours before that, he was in the field with a drone,
Yeah.
and this was all confirmed stuff.
Oh, yeah.
From the very little that old
We
Cheadle
know.
said, the
Yeah.
director said. That's one thing she confirmed. She's like, yeah, a couple hours before, he was out there with a drone scoping out the area. That he rode a bicycle
Yeah.
to the place
With a backpack.
with a backpack
Mhm.
and a gun and a rangefinder and a drone.
So the gun had to be packed down in the bag.
So
yeah.
they
He
did
wasn't
say
just riding with it.
that the barrel was collapsible. So it was a collapsible barrel, so it would fold up.
Okay.
But it was an AR style rifle that he rode a bike 10 miles from a van that was full of explosives.
20-year-old making explosives?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Where does he get the means
Information.
or
If
the
you,
means?
if you Google how do I make explosives, like you're on a list.
Oh, yeah.
You're done. Like
yeah.
Where do you get the means to make it? Not just the know-how.
Yeah.
Where do you get the like, oh, I'm going to go make
material.
a, yeah.
Yeah. And was
At
it
20?
Was it the FBI or the Secret Service? One of them said that it was fairly
It
sophisticated.
was fairly sophisticated and it was remote.
remote detonated.
You could remote detonate this stuff.
Yeah.
At 20?
Yeah.
I was like trying to figure out how to buy gas at 20.
Yeah. And kids like this guy, he's playing Fortnite like all night long.
100%.
He's not motivated to do anything without
slamming code reds,
slamming code reds and just
But
playing
on
Fortnite.
the other hand, when you make someone Hitler, everybody has already made this statement. You know, if you could go back to baby Hitler, do you kill baby Hitler?
Yeah.
When you make a guy Hitler and he's right there in front of everybody, you do what you think is going to save the world.
Yeah. What trips me up is whenever, because before, when he was going to the rally, he told his parents he was going to the gun range, right?
Mhm.
Yep.
And when you go to, like, for me, if I go shooting, I'm going to be gone for a few hours.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah.
But they called in about his son being missing, like, just a couple hours, like,
Really?
after.
I didn't hear that.
They
This
were
guy
like-
didn't even have his license or anything on him, but they
They were like-
identified him off of the serial number of the gun within 30 minutes.
Smelling some bull crap on that
Yeah,
one.
they identified this guy who didn't. He just took a bullet to his brain.
But 13 days later, we still can't get a timeline
Yep.
of the events of the day.
I've been looking like crazy. I'm like,
Can't
somebody
get it.
give me a timeline.
No,
Because
there is none.
I wanted to have a timeline specifically for this. It doesn't exist.
Because they can't BS the timeline, because if they do, someone's going to be like, that's BS.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's 50,000 people there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody's gonna go. Nope.
Tons of cameras.
Yeah.
Pointed.
It was live
Yeah.
on television.
Yeah.
Yeah, wasn't CNN, like, shooting that live, that rally live?
I think everybody was. 'Cause it
Well,
was a
I saw
huge,
that.
a
I
huge
saw
rally.
that was the first one that CNN did live, like
Really?
filmed it live.
Well, and they promptly put up that Trump fell at the rally.
Yeah, loud noises startled Trump.
Yeah. The misinformation that went out the first few hours
Yeah.
was
It was
bonkers.
horrible.
So let's go back. We got Kid. He looks a little special, honestly. I mean, they may have been like, just let him. He's walking Tom. He's just
Yeah.
living life, walking around. You know,
Oh, Simple Jack. Is that what
simple,
you're saying?
simple Jack.
Make my eyes rain.
That's what I feel when I look at the pictures of him. He just does not look put together,
No.
right?
No.
So this is just one of, I guess, to me, as like one of those guys you just let walk around. I
Yeah,
don't
it's
know.
just like, and his hat, like, again, how he tries to go through security.
Mhm.
He's walking around outside the perimeter that's like within
Not
100
really a
yards of the
perm-
president
Yeah.
or former president.
We hadn't even touched on the fact that makes no sense at all.
No,
Yeah.
no. And then he gets on a building that just happens to be unsecured, but it is secure because
From
there's
the
people
inside.
inside.
Yeah, on the second floor inside of it, and they didn't hear a dude walking around on the roof.
Yeah.
What?
Question marks.
Yeah.
5 minutes before people start pointing out you got the camera footage of people pointing out
Mm-hmm.
he's got a gun, he's on the roof,
Yeah.
go get him. Nobody does anything. Supposedly, one of the reports I seen today, there was a guy that stood on the shoulders of another guy to try to look up on the thing, look
Mhm.
up on the roof, and seen him and kind of distracted him, and that may have been why the shot was bad.
Because he knew his time slot was
Yeah,
so
he
small.
was having to pull the trigger quick,
Yeah.
and then
You would think that a massive deterrent would be a sniper setting up 100 yards away from you.
Not just
Yeah.
one set, two sets of
two
snipers.
sets of
Yeah.
snipers looking at him.
on
Which is
camera,
Also weird.
on camera, you see all of the snipers pointing in his direction.
That,
they're
yeah,
like,
because it was
"Whoa!"
like bang, 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 pow.
Yeah,
And he's dead.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy didn't even look in his scope. He knew
No.
that he was on him.
yeah, because he was
The
he was
sniper
already on
that
him.
was on the roof looking at this guy, old fish eyes,
Old fish
Yep.
eyes.
old fish eye crooks,
Yeah.
and it was just pow, dead.
So with all of that, how is that not? How do you not have a conspiracy theory about that?
Because they don't give you
They-
any information.
They just gave it to us on a silver platter at this
It's
point.
like, yeah, something's up.
Yeah.
All right.
So, conspiracy theorist,
yeah,
as we're going to be definitely put in that category
Yeah.
immediately. Who did it?
right. I mean, the CIA has, they're 1-0 with setting up assassinations.
Sure.
Yeah.
So I mean, you can't rule them out just
Yeah.
yet.
And they're the secrets that nobody talks about with
Yeah.
an unlimited
Their
budget.
fingers are deep, brother.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
throwing over other
So
countries' governments.
what's their purpose though? Why do they want? Why do they not want Trump?
I think that Trump's vision is the opposite of what they want. I mean,
Yeah, he's outside of their little
control,
box that they
yeah.
can control.
I think he's going after the 3-letter organizations, and
I like to
he's
think
gonna wear 'em
so.
out.
I like to think so, but you never know. Everybody who
He
has
didn't,
said that,
he did in his first 4 years.
Yeah.
I don't think he would. And the reason
Yeah.
I don't think he would, I think that it's something you say on a campaign trail.
yeah,
But once you get in there to try to do it, you're not able to.
yeah. The
You
last
can't.
the last person who said they were going to do that got their brains exploded.
Well,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
history can repeat itself.
yeah. And he would have if he hadn't have looked at the screen
Yeah.
at the
Yeah.
exact millisecond.
Yep. Because that
That-
bullet in 130 yards, that bullet is from the barrel to his ear. I mean, it is a tenth of a millisecond. It's
Yeah.
going so fast. So like the timing of it just had to be so perfect.
Yeah.
So perfect.
And then you got people pointing him out, so it kind of threw his game off just a little bit.
Mhm.
And I also heard today too that it was an unmagnified red dot.
Mm-hmm.
So if you've ever shot a red dot
Yeah.
with a rifle, like
Mhm.
at that range, the dot's going to kind of like fill up his head in
Yeah.
the, in the
You're in
scope.
that. You're
So
you just
just
got to go
about
in that
fill up
area.
his body, like
Yeah.
everything. So
yeah, so it would.
it's a
You really-
tough shot.
Yeah, it's a tough shot with no magnification.
Yeah. I mean, if it was set up by some organization, I mean, they should have they would have just thrown a better scope on that thing, I think. If they wanted it to be
Yeah.
on point, they would have gave him a little bit better equipment.
Well, one of the conspiracies is so there was a threat on Trump from Iran, which is why everybody has said, why has he not had more security? Well, everybody then says, well, this was Iran setting this up for this kid to go do this, and they were going to give him all this stuff and all of that. Now, who knows?
Yeah.
I don't think that this kid is attached to Iran,
Yeah.
probably.
So you can throw
I
in
mean-
Iran, you can throw in CIA, you can
Yeah.
throw in
He probably needed it.
Soros and the deep state.
You can throw in a crazy dude with fish eyes. I mean, you can just.
I mean,
It
you
could be
can.
just him.
It could
yeah,
just be him being
wrote
nuts.
it. Yeah.
yeah,
yeah.
He needed to go on a run. He looked a little weak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he got on a roof, man, with,
Yeah.
with an AC unit.
Yeah, that's true.
And that, did you see how slanted that roof was? That thing was sloped.
Can't
Even
believe, can't believe you
Secret
fall off
Service
of it.
couldn't get on.
I know, right?
It was hot too.
They were like doing like cartoon movement when they're on the roof, like I'm slipping.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see how that guy even got up there. It's tough.
In khakis. Wow.
Yeah, it's
Khaki
nuts.
shorts. And
Yeah, that was
Vans.
another thing too. They said the snipers couldn't engage because they thought he might have been one of theirs.
Like
Okay,
right.
Yeah.
The guy looks like an armpit. He's not part of your group. Like
it's not part of your group at all.
his hair is like 12
Well-
inches long. He's got Vans on. Like that's not your guy.
No.
Well, and so also they were talking about in this hearing with is it Cheadle? I think it's Cheadle. Anyway, they were talking about how this was not
Kimberly Cheadle.
Yeah, Kimberly Cheadle. This was not Trump's regular people either.
Mm.
They had
Rotate.
they had a bunch of temporary agents involved as well.
I think I seen one that
That probably was temporary.
Forgot training
She worked
day.
at Pepsi too, is what you're saying?
No, the one that couldn't holster a gun.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking
in front of the
about.
world.
Yeah.
It'd
that
been
was-
hilarious
And
if
then
like she
she-
shot herself. On
When
it.
she
so
couldn't get
awkward.
it holstered, she acted like she was being real serious and like, I'm
Yeah.
gonna hold my gun.
Looks like
for
a
a
I didn't
little
even
longer.
I didn't even want to holster
like
it.
a like an extra in a Jason Bourne movie.
Yeah.
Just, like in the background where you can almost can't see her. You know.
No, an extra in a Jason Bourne movie could have done better than that.
Yeah.
It was
She-
rough.
yeah. An
And-
extra could have holstered
And
her
I kind of
weapon.
feel bad
Yeah.
for her because everybody has pointed it out forever, and it will be forever.
Yeah, you know she went home.
Yeah.
Was like, I'm done.
Yeah, dang it.
Dang it. Can't go anywhere.
Can't go anywhere. I was nervous. My hands were shaking. I couldn't get my gun in my holster.
She was also the one hiding behind the president.
Well, she
Yeah,
was
she's
like,
Taking cover.
yeah, 5'2", trying to cover a 6'5" guy. That makes a
Yeah.
lot of
Right,
sense.
Yeah.
right.
Which is another piece to the conspiracy puzzle. Huh?
Of DEI.
Yeah, the what is that? Include what's that stand for?
Oh man, why did I just?
DEI. What is that?
Oh man, I just lost diversity, equity, and inclusion. There it is. Take that.
Boom.
Figured it out.
I'm educated.
Okay, yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So diversity.
Mm-hmm.
Equity and inclusion.
So that was one of Cheadle's big things is she wanted to be sure that everybody's included in this, and it's not about getting the best guy. It's about we need white women and black women and trans
Yeah.
women, and all of these things need to be. We don't need to be pushing people out of this.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Tell us
It
how
doesn't
that
matter
works.
if she's 5'2" and covering a 6'5" guy. That's fine.
That's
Would have
no
been
big
better
deal.
if we had like a trans man and woman because they're like they
At least their shoulders would be broad enough,
Yeah.
right?
broader and they're
Bigger, stronger.
Yeah.
yeah.
Have the hands to actually take him down, you
Yeah,
know, do
Possibly
whatever.
holster.
It might
His way.
Yeah,
That was a good one.
that was a good one.
It's man.
It's ma'am.
Yeah, so the next step in the old conspiracy whirlwind, 2 days after, July 15th, is the Republican National Convention, the
Mhm.
RNC, where Trump comes out and he makes his miraculous debut and
Mm-hmm.
wins the world over.
fantastic. It was actually, I watched all of it.
Yeah.
I don't know that I've ever watched a Republican convention,
Nope.
but it was fantastic.
Yeah.
It was
I was
actually really
surprised
cool to watch.
I was surprised how long he talked.
Yeah.
Now that was too much. Yeah, he talked way too long.
Yeah. It's
Like
so
an
it was
hour and a half.
it
Talking
was
about before or after the Hulkamania come out there and
man.
ripped his shirt off.
Did y'all
Golly.
notice how just amped up that was when Hulk come out, and then you had Dana White come out, and they're
He gave a
just
good speech.
he gave a good speech, and then Trump comes out to God Bless the USA,
By
which
Lee
is
Greenwood.
which, let's be honest, that song is just a boner kill for me. For
Really?
real. Oh no, I hate that
America,
song.
dude, he gets me fired up
No.
for America.
No, we need something else. That's too
Yeah?
no.
Too cheesy.
Get Avenged Sevenfold on there.
Yeah, something.
Do you have some repressed memories of
I hate
singing it
that song.
in an
Yeah,
assembly
in like an
when you was in?
educational assembly that we had to do. Maybe I don't know.
Khaki and
That
polos.
song just that is the worst. I hate it. But
Ugh.
anyway, he comes out and he's just super soft spoken,
Yeah.
just talking,
Yeah.
and then he just does that for an hour and a half, just like this.
Yeah.
It's too much.
Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, like during that though, like, did you think that Trump could lose an election after that?
I
like,
don't.
I'm thinking like 90% of the America.
I think the
Yeah,
world would have
pro-Trump.
voted for him at that point.
Yeah.
So
I
then,
like to think that anyway.
so then the Democrats had to do something drastic.
Well, if we move on, at the RNC, I thought it was really cringy. I saw pictures of like people putting like the
Yeah, that was
bandages on
too
their
much.
ear. I was
too.
like,
Yeah.
come
That was-
on, don't make it weird.
yeah,
I
that was
thought the
too much.
bandage itself was cringe.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've never seen a giant square bandage
Just like,
in my
well,
life.
but
And
you
then
gotta think,
plaster it to the side of your
Just
head
hooking a
before you
band-
go in front of the world.
you can't just hook a regular, Walmart Band-Aid on
I'll
that
stick a
thing.
Mickey Mouse on it all day long.
No, I might do that if I could figure out a way to
that
do
could
it.
have been
Yeah.
a great branding thing, just
That's
Oh
all
yeah,
right.
it's as big as a billboard.
What
You
do
can
you-
put anything you wanted on it.
Trump's associated with gold. Just get like a golden bandage and
Yeah.
slap on that thing.
they should have made him a dope like helmet or
Yeah.
something.
But yeah, he's coming out with that white Band-Aid. I never saw blood on it once,
Yeah.
so they got that. They got it cleaned up pretty nice.
Yeah, really
honestly,
good.
I want to see a close picture of like where in the ear it hit.
Like
if it
now?
was, yeah.
I do too.
Yeah.
Like if it was like the outside or
So
like
he's-
the inside.
He's now wearing just like a skin-colored Band-Aid.
Yeah.
So I watched one of his rallies that he did the other day, and he does have just a regular Band-Aid on it.
That's
Yeah.
good. So
So it's
Yeah.
not as weird.
I think
Yeah.
I think this event shows a testament to his health because I mean, if any, how old is he? He's like 71, 72.
No, he'll be in his 80s if he wins when he leaves.
Oh, okay.
He'll be in. I can't remember his exact.
77, I believe, right now.
Yeah, he'll be
Okay.
like 81, I think, when he
Well,
leaves.
I feel like any other 70-year-old, if they got shot, I think they would just have a heart attack.
Could you imagine if Joe
Yeah.
Biden got shot?
Their adrenaline would just shoot through and their head would
Yeah.
just pop off their shoulders and that'd be it.
Yeah.
Let's talk about if this was turned the other direction. What the world would have been like if Biden had
Yeah.
been the one that had been shot.
Yeah, you go, boom. Hey, man.
No, not just that, but okay, he gets hit in the ear.
Yeah.
The world would be flipped on its head.
Yeah.
And it was a little bit with Trump
Yeah.
for about 2 days.
Yeah, it was wall-to-wall coverage.
We would never hear the end of it.
Right.
Yeah. And see, that's kind of the next step of the conspiracy is like it was a failed attempt.
Yeah.
The world sees that Trump is like leading everything, like the
Yeah.
picture of him
Mhm.
fist pumping with blood running down his face.
Fight.
Fight.
Like,
dude.
how can you beat that?
Yeah, like that's got America written all over it.
Yeah.
But then
They've got to do something, though,
They
to
gotta
change the
do
narrative.
something,
You got to
and
change that narrative quick.
and then here's how it happens. Trump goes into hiding with COVID.
Nope.
Quote unquote.
Not Trump. Yeah.
Biden.
Yeah.
Goes
Mhm.
into hiding with COVID.
Mm-hmm.
No reports, no talking, no
This is like a day after he said, if I
FaceTime, no Zoom, no.
And this was right after he said, there is no way I'm leaving.
unless-
They're not going to get me out of this
Yeah.
spot. I'm here for the people.
Yeah. So
He-
then,
But he also
he's
said-
not going
he said,
anywhere.
unless there was a medical thing with me, then I'll get out of the race.
Well,
Yeah.
but it started not happening.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
not going anywhere.
They want me
Y'all
out.
voted for me. I don't care if they want me out.
Yep.
I'm staying.
Yep.
And then he goes into hiding.
Yeah.
And
3 days later, after he goes into hiding,
Mhm.
I would call it a mysterious letter appears
yeah, that's
Yep.
interesting.
saying that he's decided to step down.
And we all
Yep.
know he ain't writing nothing.
No.
He ain't picking up no pencil. He ain't typing no letters.
And nobody's sitting there. I don't think that he's saying these words out loud and somebody else is typing them.
No.
I think somebody said, "Hey, Joe,
This is what's happening.
this is what's happening. Sorry."
Yeah.
No, they didn't even say sorry. They just said, "Here it is."
Yeah.
Yep.
Or did
And
they?
What's he say? No. I ain't
Or-
doing it.
I think that there were hey, look, we're going to take care of your family. We're going to make sure that everybody's taken care of. Your
Hunter,
son,
Hunter gets a get
Hunter,
out of jail free card.
he gets his get out of jail free card.
Yeah.
We're going to make sure that nobody wants for anything. But you got to go.
Down.
You got to go.
There's no way you can beat him.
And there wasn't.
Was Jill just like?
I think
holding it
Jill. I don't think Jill's okay from it.
Yeah,
No.
I think she was the one that was keeping him in.
Yeah, 100%.
She was propping him
I
up.
think that
she was pulling the old Bernie Sanders.
I think that she was
Not Bernie
running
Sanders.
Weekend at Bernie's.
Weekend at Bernie's.
There it
Bernie. I
is.
knew it was Bernie something. I'm getting all political over it.
I know, right?
But I think she has been running the country for the past 4 years.
Yeah.
That's my personal opinion. I have no way of saying that for a
Yeah.
fact, but
Yeah.
I can tell you who hadn't been, and that's Joe Biden.
Yeah.
Joe Biden has not been running this
The only thing
country.
that's running in Joe Biden's life is the crap down his pants.
That's right.
The only
There it
thing
is.
that's running.
There, man. You got to make a doo doo joke with Joe Biden. You got to.
You can't. I mean, he's in France. Just
So, you don't
So
think
you're
he's got the-
saying
oh yeah,
I
when he
see London.
freezes,
Yeah.
yeah, like when he
and
freezes,
he bends over
he
like
gets-
a
yeah,
a toddler.
yeah. You know when a toddler's crapping, duking
Yeah.
his pants, he's like,
Hey, I've got a new child. I know exactly when anybody.
that look.
I know the look of somebody taking a poop.
he had that look.
Jill's like, dang it, Joe.
Yeah. So the news cycle flips
Almost instantly.
Yeah.
instantly.
Trump. No one knows the Trump getting shot thing is out.
It's
Let's
well
get out of
played.
the-
I've got to say, it is crazy well played, though.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
the
it's a
news.
well-oiled machine.
Yeah, the
The-
news is wall to wall Kamala, which is the next level to the
Yeah.
conspiracy. How what?
How does that work?
How does
Yeah.
that work? Like
She just inherits all of Joe Biden's votes now
and money.
and money.
And more money.
Where is that in any document, any article?
Well, I mean, the Democrat convention can do what they want.
Yeah. The delegates were like, we're good with it.
but
They can
As
do
a-
what they want.
as an
Yeah.
American,
You should feel like you've been
Republican
betrayed.
as a Republican or Democrat alike, how
If
is
it
that?
was the-
How is this part of the process?
Yeah.
How is that
If
possible?
this was the other way around, I would be pissed.
Yeah.
Either way,
You sit down and like, did I
I'm
vote
pissed
for Kamala?
anyway.
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
nobody
like-
did.
Nobody did.
If she's on the primary, you think she wins?
Yeah.
No, she tried that.
Didn't work.
It didn't go well.
The only thing I see
She
is that
dropped out before
nobody-
they even started voting because she was at 0%.
Yeah.
all of the people that could, run against her in a primary, they're like, no, you got it. You take it. That's the only way out that they're saying is like the reason she's the primary person is because no one else wants to run.
But she's the primary because the news is just like appointed her.
Have y'all seen just the flip? Because 2 weeks ago, she was the worst vice president that's ever lived.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Never been a worse vice president. We
Yeah.
don't like her. No,
Like, where is she? Like,
her numbers were like negatives.
Yeah.
Dead people were like, nah, we don't even like her. The dead people that voted in 2020 were even like, nah, we don't even want to vote for her.
red.
Yeah, that's right. But but then Biden leaves. And then it's like the best thing that's ever
Yeah.
happened.
Yeah.
This is somebody said this, the second coming of Jesus was like Kamala.
No.
Yes. They're like, it's like the Messiah has came.
We got to stop with that. Even with Trump, we got to stop with that.
It's too much.
We got to stop with that. That's
But she's got this twinkle in her eye. It's like 2008 Obama. I hadn't felt this good about something. And it's just boom, flipped. And every news network.
It's like, what
is saying
about
it.
her? It's like so charming. Her laugh, because that's not charming.
Is it, did you fall out of a coconut tree? Is that it? We can be unburdened by what has been?
Yeah, the
What?
significance of passage of time. I mean,
What is it about her where you look at her and go, oh, Horseface Harris, that's the one I'm going for.
she is a word linguist. Like it's like she can spit some words.
but then she repeats them
over
and then
over.
throws in a
It's so awkward.
The children of the community are
the
the
children.
children of the community.
The
And when you
significance
have-
of passage of time.
When you have children in your community, then there's children in your community.
That makes sense.
I mean,
Yeah, I could see her if she was president and like everybody's having a hard time. She'd be like, it's a hard time out there. No one has money. When no one has money, it's a hard time out there.
it is. It's kind of like we got Joe Biden, except she doesn't slur her words.
No.
Like it's the same
Yeah.
thing though.
And then she just laughs.
Yeah, and her laugh is the worst thing ever.
Yeah.
She's got that Hillary Clinton cackle.
Yeah.
I don't know what it
That's her
is.
drunk aunt laugh right
But
there.
and see, how does she jump in the polls that fast?
Because she's the only person, I guess.
Because
They're
she
like, we have to
doesn't.
rally behind her.
Because she doesn't. Because they're trying to make
They're
the
pushing
narrative
it.
today.
Yeah.
Today, you make the narrative that she's
Mhm.
got a chance. And then, whenever you get your mail-in ballots coming in
Yeah.
Yeah.
2024 around September,
Yep.
you can flip it again.
Yep. The ones who count the votes choose the election or choose the winner. So
Yep.
Yeah.
You can flip it. There will be something that happens between now and then that will call for this to happen. That will call for we need to do
stay at
something.
home.
Got to stay at home. Don't come to the polls. That'd be bad.
There's gonna be terrorists there.
Terrorists there. The border's been crazy, and we've let all these people in. We can't say you're going to be safe when you go to the polls. We can't say that.
Mm.
There's something that'll happen.
So there's in the
They can't let power change like this.
in the
They can't.
conspiracy in this conspiracy realm, there's already talks of Civil War and World War III
Mhm.
kicking off soon.
Which has been it's kind of been the conversation for
I think if Trump had died, we would have already seen it.
yeah.
If Trump dies, I think at that point you've got people in the streets pulling media out, shooting them in the streets, going to you.
Yeah.
You think January 6th was bad? I think it would
Yeah.
have been really bad.
Yeah, especially
it's-
if it goes the way it did. Like
Yeah.
so the assassination attempt happened. He looked like a hero.
Yeah.
So that kind of squelched
It did.
the tempers.
But if that had been he died on live TV, it would have been.
They would have played
Bad.
that over and over and over again. They would have
Yeah.
just kept that on repeat.
I think they
Yeah.
kind of want a civil war. I personally
so.
kind of think that that's what they want because then they can play the side of the good and the bad guy, and
Yeah.
they can play the good guy in
well,
that
then
situation.
they can initiate martial law and then just go from there.
Just
Yeah.
do whatever they want.
That's
do
how
whatever they
you. That's how you end up with a one person rule at that point.
Yeah. Yeah,
Mm.
it seems
That's my conspiracy theory,
Well,
100%. But I've had that conspiracy theory for a long time that they want
Yeah.
a civil war going on.
I would not leave
Yeah.
my child with Kamala. She scares me.
No,
no.
I wouldn't leave my
Scares me.
dog with Kamala.
She don't have kids, does she?
Thank
Yes, she
goodness.
does. Yeah, that's good.
She no, she
Is she
slept.
married?
Huh?
Is she married?
Yeah, to a Jew.
I thought she was anti-Semitic.
Yeah, but for appearances.
Like,
Did you
what?
know she was talking about the other day? Y'all saw where Benjamin Netanyahu came to the U.S. to give his speech on needing help for the war going on. She didn't show up,
Oh.
which is great. But the next day she came out and she said, "I remember when I was a little girl, and I was planting all these trees for Israel." It's like, what the crap are you talking
What does that
about?
even mean?
What is that? What is that? I was planting trees for Israel. I don't know what that means. Like, were you don't what?
What?
Did you go to Israel to plant trees? No, that wasn't it. I stayed where I was and I planted a tree and I
You're-
said, "This is for
You're
Israel."
playing a Douglas and you're like, this one's for you.
It's so how easily manipulated people are by this bull crap.
Yeah.
It blows my mind.
And that
Who else? Like, who lives in the news? Like, I don't know anybody who sits down and watches the news. Like, they
I
used
know
to.
people that do.
Yeah.
And you're going to see more of it right now because it's an election year.
Yeah, I watch
Mhm.
the news more
And
now than
I'll tell you that
Yeah.
it's about every 4 years. I just get amped up and I want to watch it
yeah.
because it's just so crazy.
Yeah.
It's nuts what they're doing.
Like, how
right
much
now.
crazier could it get? You know?
Don't say that.
Dude, don't say
Stop.
that.
Throw some salt over your right shoulder, quick.
I mean, seriously, where are we at? Where are we at now? You know, what's left to do?
So right now you got the
What's-
D, you got the
don't say
DNC. Yeah, you got the DNC coming up.
yeah,
So
that's gonna be
chaos
wild.
gonna sue there.
It wouldn't surprise me if they set conspiracy.
Yep.
Let's back up.
A false flag.
If they set up a false flag situation
Mm-hmm.
to make it look like we retaliated,
Mm-hmm.
and then that plays into civil war.
Oh, good night.
Yeah, be like a Timothy McVeigh type situation.
I think
Yeah.
everybody needs to chill out.
Mm-hmm.
And even if something like that was to happen, chill out and go, I don't think we did that.
No.
Because I don't know anybody on. I'm not going to say a certain side that I'm on. I think it's pretty obvious where we tend
Yeah.
to sit.
Yeah.
But I would like to think that I'm more moderate. If somebody has a good idea, I don't care if you're a Republican or a Democrat.
Right.
I really don't.
Mm.
It just seems to me like only one side's got some halfway decent ones.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't surprise me at all for
Yeah.
them to just throw something up.
yeah.
Because it seems like they're getting desperate. Like it was.
They're-
I feel
yeah.
like what played out post assassination attempt was because of the failed attempt.
Trump dies, Joe Biden is still running right now.
100%.
No doubt.
100%.
Let's talk about the left wing conspiracies when Trump almost got assassinated, where like they were saying he set it up,
Yeah,
to make himself look big.
It's a hell of a shot.
dude.
The fact that they even said that, like, we're saying that like in mainstream media,
Yeah.
flipped like that when everybody was saying like Jan 6 was like the 3-letter agencies were involved in that.
Right.
They're like, no.
Yeah.
But then this happens, they're like, see?
Yeah.
See?
Conspiracy.
Conspiracy.
They said, what was it I saw where they shot the teleprompter and the glass hit him in the ear?
Yeah, it wasn't a bullet that
It was
was caught on
glass.
camera. It was glass from the
What?
teleprompter that didn't break.
If you set up, I wouldn't we're sitting pretty close. I wouldn't let you shoot me in the ear. If
No.
from this distance,
No.
there's no way I'd be
There's
like,
enough deviation where like I
Yeah.
gotta twitch on my wrist or something and just blow your brains out.
yeah, you sneeze and I'm dead. Like, there's no way.
Not
that
happening.
from 130 yards, I'm be like, all right, I trust this dude. Just
Yeah.
go for it.
It's
Shoot me.
gonna make me look awesome
You
in
know
that
how
picture.
cool I'm gonna look.
Yeah, this picture is gonna
It's like
be
what's the
awesome.
downside? Well, you're gonna be in 4K with your brains all over the place.
Yeah,
Yeah.
4K in slow motion.
Ugh.
It's gonna make JFK look like a playground.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. It's I mean,
Yeah. So let's. I think we've talked about it all. There's so man.
all up to this point.
Up to this
there's-
point
there-
because it changes daily.
We're
right
gonna have
now.
to come back to it at some point because this is just too much.
Yeah. It's too
Whenever
much.
Kamala's president, we'll be in here and just talking about
That's
how bad
right.
it is.
Maybe we'll soon find out
We'll
what
talk
really
about it.
happened and
We can be unburdened though by what has been.
will be and hasn't been.
That's right.
Anyway.
And we'll learn about the children of the community.
That's right.
Yep, significance of passage of time.
All right. Jump on the social media. Email us. Tell us how dumb and stupid we are
Mm-hmm.
because we'll agree with you. So
Yeah, we'll say you're
that'll
right.
Yep.
that'll get us. But yeah,
You hate us? Me too.
check out the whole thing. We got a website up and rolling. Check it out. ShroudedRealities.com.
That's right.
Catch y'all on the next one.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.